What's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Stranger Days with a strange story for you. So let me just kind of lay out a scenario here. All right, you're a burglar. You know, you're out one night, yet you're looking for a score. You know, you're casing some places. You come across a funeral home, right? Then you're like, I'm gonna break in this funeral home. There's usually some valuables, some possessions that are left behind by the recently deceased that are going to be good to fence on the black market. Make myself a little bit of a score. Maybe hawk these on eBay or something. Get myself some money. It's the holidays. Buy myself something nice. Get something nice for my girl or my family. So you break in, thinking it's a victimless crime, because it kind of is. To be fair, they don't need it where they're going, or where they currently already are, right? They don't need it, so it works for you. So you break in, you look around, and I guess maybe you get a sudden urge. You get a sudden urge. So you get caught doing what you're doing, and then you totally admit to the cops that you were having sex with a corpse. Because yeah, that's a thing, right? I mean, that seems like a standard Friday night thing to do. You know, you go out there and you're like, I'm gonna stick it in a corpse, because I know that when I like to get down and dirty with it, you know, a cold formaldehyde filled substance that is vacant and void of all life and emotion and feeling really gets me right there. You know what I mean? It's just like a warm apple pie, except the exact opposite. But anyway, let's find out more about this dude who banged a body that was in a coffin. All right. A burglar has admitted to having sex with the body after living multiple coffin lives at a funeral home. Kasim Khuram, 23, broke into the Cooperative Undertakers in Great Bar, Birmingham on November 11th. A judge at the Birmingham Crown Court warned Khuram, who pled guilty to sexual penetration of a body, that he faced a substantial jail term. What exactly is the substantial jail term for assaulting a corpse? I mean, they can't really offer no consent. They can't offer any real consent. It's disgusting, that's for sure. It should lock you up in the mental side of things for a while, that's for sure. But what exactly would be a substantial jail sentence for doing that? I mean, that's where my mind goes on this one. It's like, what would be the proper punishment to fit the crime here? Now, he also admitted, when sentencing was adjourned until January 31st, while a psychiatric report is carried out. So that's good. They're going to ask him the question, Kasim, what prompted you to have sex with this corpse? Now, I'm not trying to make a judgment about Kasim's religion. But when I first read that, the first thought that came to mind was the story of a 21 or 22-year-old cab driver in Germany who stopped outside of a local swimming pool and assaulted a 10-year-old boy because, according to him, it was a quote unquote sexual emergency that was tied to his faith. So I can only question if that has something to do with that here. If Kasim, while browsing through the coffins, realized that it was one of those emergencies and figured, well, while I'm here, I'll make a deposit. That's what I'm thinking on that one. Now, he also admitted burglary. It says here that he forced the door open of the funeral home at 3 a.m. He says that while inside the funeral home, the defendant lifted multiple coffins and sexually penetrated one of the corpses. Officers, alerted by the parlor's alarm, turned up to find him still at the scene, and he was briefly sectioned following his arrest. Now, the article here doesn't say whether or not he had completed his said act. I don't know if I really want to know that. Part of me, being the morbid curiosity side of me, is kind of curious to know that. Like, did this dude, did he finish? I just feel like if you're going to do it and you didn't finish, it's just a real waste. It's also, don't ever do it, but it's one of those weird things. Anyway, sentencing was adjourned to allow his defense team to present a medical report to the court. Judge Francis Laird told him, but you must be under no illusion that you will receive a sentence of imprisonment for your offending in this case. A substantial sentence of imprisonment. Again, what is the precedent here? And I think the judge is just like, I don't know how to respond to this one. Like, this is weird. It says here, but Baljinder Kaur from CPS says this is an unusual case, and it is difficult to imagine a more distressing violation of a loved one, which is true. Which is true. It is very true. I'm pretty sure that the family of the person who was violated is going to feel very strongly in the negative about this, and I understand that entirely. It says here, on the strength of the case built by the police and CPS, the defendant ultimately pleaded guilty and will now have to face the consequences. Yeah. That makes sense. Although if I was that guy, I think just I've been like, no, it wasn't me. Sir, your pants are down and we caught you in the coffin. Yeah, I know. I was just not me. I was in there. Yeah, sure. But it was not me. Like, prove it. Get a DNA sample. Delay sentencing for a while longer. Anyway, a spokesman for the Central Intelligence Cooperative said, our primary concern for the families we serve and the welfare of our funeral colleagues who have all been deeply affected by this incredibly disturbing and unprecedented event. Oh, I'm sure it's incredibly disturbing. But I also guarantee you they are laughing about it. They're like, wait. You're telling me this dude broke in here, had sex with one of the bodies. That's messed up. You know, like they're probably laughing about it. Because I think to work in that kind of world, you have to have a very macabre sense of humor. And there's nothing more macabre than necrophilia in certain aspects. Detective John Askew says here, this is a horrendous, disturbing act. Our thoughts remain with all those who have been affected by his crime. Again, who's the victim here? I don't agree with it. I don't condone it. I definitely condemn it, but I still have to ask the question of who's the victim here? The person is dead. People can sit there in the comments and go, but Matt, what if it was you and you were dead? I'm dead. And unless I can upload my consciousness into a computer system, kind of like Black Mirror, then I'm not going to care because I'm dead. Now, granted, my loved ones will probably care. Wait, somebody broke into a funeral home and they raped Matt? Guarantee somebody out there on the internet would hear about that and go, that fucker had it coming. I'm not saying it's a victimless crime because there's clearly an assault to the funeral home and it's a violation of privacy. There's definitely a crime committed. The dude should go to jail. I'm just like, you can tell they're so desperately trying to find the right words to say here because they just don't know how to react. They just don't know what to say. They're like, you're going to go to jail. I just don't know for like, imagine that dude going to jail. First off, the dude's got like the tattoos the teardrops that you get for killing somebody, which then kind of begs the question, has he done this before? I hope the psychiatrist is able to figure that out. Oh, I really hope they're able to figure that out. And if this dude goes to prison and he's known as the corpse fucker, he's going to have himself a very interesting time behind bars.